Hello, all you beautiful people out there, and welcome to my channel. And thank you for your patience. I've been dealing with some business today, and took a little longer than usual than I thought it would take. So, you know, that's why the delay. But anyway, um, how you guys doing? Um, so today's topic is if God is all powerful, why is he such a weenie when it comes to other gods? In other words, why is he threatened by people worshiping other gods? Doesn't make sense, does it? I mean, seriously, if God, the God of the Bible, is the only God, what the fuck does it matter whether you're worshiping another God or not? Because you're not really worshiping another God. Does, do, I don't know. Does this make sense to anybody except me? I mean, he's like a narcissist, right? Narcissist bully. And, you know, he's like, you got to worship me and me alone. And, one of the verses that I'm going to use um, in Hey Limited Light. um, so anyway, uh, so why? Okay, if the other quote unquote gods are not real, why be jealous of something that's not real? That does not make sense. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I don't know. It's like me being jealous of Santa Claus, you know? I mean, seriously. Come on. Get with the program, dude. But anyway, one of the verses that I'm going to use on Sunday for Atheist Church, hey, nevermore, about Christianity being a false religion is uh, Hear, O Israel, the Lord thy God is one. Not two, not three, but one, you know? Um, uh, so, you know, and there are other things, um, I'm not gonna get into it now because 'cause I'm gonna save it. Because if I get into it now, I'm just gonna, "Hey, Terem. Hey, Satan's little helper." So, anyway, you know, well, I mean, that is true, Terem, and the Bible is written by men, you know? I mean, even people excuse me. Oh god, I am so sorry. I am so tired today. Even people who believe that the word of God is inerrant is going to say it was written by men. Otherwise, what else are they going to say? You know? Yeah, like Jesus loves you, but he's going to burn you in hell forever. Not that all Christian sects believe in hell. Hey, big zebra. But, um, but yeah, another contradiction is that in Tanakh, it says one man cannot die for another man's sins. Okay, that totally destroys the atonement thing in Christianity now, doesn't it? And there's a lot more in Tanakh that I'm learning about that has been hidden from me because you got to realize that when you're in a Christian church, any Christian church, be it Catholic or evangelical or Orthodox or whatever, you know, any Christian church, they're going to hide stuff from you. And not only that, but I've learned the best way to read Tanakh is to learn biblical Hebrew because the church has messed with the Tanakh. Um, so anyway, but yeah, um, the more I learn about um, what Tanakh really says about Messiah, the more I'm scratching my head thinking, where did this Jesus is the Messiah come from? Hey, Selena. I mean, it just doesn't make sense, you know. And if you're a Christian, you're not going to know Tanakh. And believe me, I don't know Tanakh that well. I'm still learning. It's okay, Selena. Don't worry about it. So anyway, you know, I've got a whole thing planned for Christianity, a false religion. You're not going to want to miss that one. And tell your friends, please. Hey, Jams. Don't think I've seen you here before. Welcome. So anyway, it's just like this funny, I mean, it's like why are you if these are all false gods, right? If all the gods that other people worship are false except you, oh, you're limited. Okay. Then why are you threatened by them? Let people have their beliefs. Oh, she's a good one, Selena. She's a good one. You know the one I like? I like Oh shit. I can't remember her name. The cat goddess of the Egyptians. Can't can't believe I can't remember her name right now. Let me look it up right quick. It's bugging the daylights out of me that I can't remember her name. And she used to be really special to me. Dude. Oh, Bastet. That's right, Bastet. Didn't even have to look it up. See how the brain works? Uh, Bastet was okay. The Egyptians were kind of, I can't say weird because no religion is really weird, but the Egyptians were kind of unique in that um, they they believed that like had the animals weren't gods and goddesses, but each animal had a god and a goddess. And you know, um, the animal god or goddess could take the shape of the animal, like Bastet. You know, you can find statues of her in her um, cat form, but she you can also find statues of her in her half human, half cat form. I agree, Terem, which is why we in the United States, even the progressive Christians, have to fight against these evangelicals who want to shove their faith into everybody else's face. I'm like, I don't give a shit what you believe. Believe whatever you want to believe. Just don't shove it in my face. you know, there's a evangelicals don't know history, period. I mean, they don't. One of their favorite go to phrases is this country, meaning America, was founded by theists, by Christians. Uh, no, no. Most of the founding fathers were deists, and some of them were probably even closet atheists, but they were not Christians. They were not Christians. Yeah, Terem, and if that happens, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Right now, Roe v. Wade is in trouble. I mean, they've got a lot of signatures, which means it's weighing heavily on the Supreme Court. Um, but yeah, I mean, and I hear MTG's in a lot of trouble too. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yeah, Stephen Hassan. That's who came up with the bite model. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, look, if something's imaginary, why are you oh, that's not the oh boy. I don't I don't know where you are, Jams. Um, but the evangelicals have been running the show since the 90s. No, Selena, they don't. And they don't really care. Call Cat Kerr, Satan. Call Cat Kerr. She'll get you in touch. You're in Oregon too? Or are you in Northern California? Are you in the San Francisco area? No, 1,000 miles southeast. Nevada. Is that it? You're in Nevada? Maybe Las Vegas? I'm lucky to be living in a blue state. I moved from Alabama. I came up to take care of my dad, you know. I moved from Alabama right before the shit hit the fan when Alabama passed that ludicrous law about even if you go out of state to have an abortion, they can prosecute you. Don't not exactly sure how they would enforce that law, but anyway, nevermore, they've always been doing that. I'm not quite sure why you're no, I'm serious. I'm serious. Maybe not. No, I mean Americans have been doing that, just not in America. They've been doing it in other places. Oregon is devoted, devoted to human reproductive rights. They are devoted, Oregon as a state is devoted to human reproductive rights. And let me tell you something, our current governor, if Roe v. Wade is overturned, our present governor is going to ignore it. Yeah, nevermore. They have in the past, but as far as I know, they're not doing it right now. They're doing it in other parts of the world, but as far as I know, they're not doing it in the country right now. Yeah, it kind of makes me sick. But anyway, yeah, the political talk just got me demonetized. Hey, if you want me to be able to make demonetized videos, just, give me a super chat. That would work just fine. Well, nevermore. They always said the South will rise again. But I don't think that's likely to happen. Because who signs military paychecks? The government does. The military is not going to turn on the people who sign their paychecks. You know, not only that, but they swore an oath to the Constitution of the United States. They didn't swear an oath to the government. That's important. They swore an oath to the Constitution of the United States. And the Constitution of the United States says that the military cannot get involved in civil matters. Cannot. That's why I was laughing at these idiots when they said, TR was going to call out the military. I was laughing my fucking ass off when they said that. I'm like, uh, no, not even. Because, like I said, they've sworn they don't care. Listen, our military, our American military, as it stands right now, does not care who the president is. They don't give a shit. Their allegiance is to the Constitution. So, anyway, I'm sorry, guys. I've um I've been crying today. I've been quite emotional today, and that kind of takes me. Um, the emotionality kind of takes the energy out of me, as it does most people. And you know, um, one thing I don't understand is why. Okay, hey, Venator. So one thing I don't understand is why evangelicals even care. Because according to them, Jesus is going to come back any 5 minutes. Never mind that it's been 2,000 years, but any 5 minutes now. So why would they care what's happening here? Why would they give a damn? If they really think Jesus is coming back every 5 minutes, why do they care? Well, not everyone knows it's a Light Terum. When I was evangelical, I didn't know it was a lie. I woke up every day thinking it'd be my last day on earth. I'm sorry. I really am. But yeah. Don't look for good for them, does it? They their actions say one thing and their words say another. That's what it's all about. You know what that's called? It's called a hypocrisy. And you know what Jesus said about hypocrites, people? If you're a Christian, you should stop being a hypocrite because Jesus hates hypocrites. Well, of course, because God isn't there to be threatened. Or I'm an agnostic atheist, okay? So I act as if there is no God. Whether there's a God or not, I act as if there is no God because I'm an agnostic. Oh, yeah. He's he's going off the deep end. I mean, he's like right now, he's like padded room level. Yeah, I mean, that guy is like Greg Locke, I'm talking about, is like padded room level right now. He's talking about frickin' witches in his churches. He's talking about fucking book burnings. I mean, really, these people are delusional. Oh, Selena, don't even get me started on Matthew Hopkins. I am going to do probably an episode on Matthew Hopkins. In case anybody doesn't know who Matthew Hopkins is, he's the one that actually started the witch hunts. I think it was in Scotland because I think what started the witch hunts or the last incarnation of the witch hunts in Europe was that the Scottish king was promised to a Danish princess. I believe that's right. I believe it was the Danish princess. And um, the sea was rough. And so, by some pact, the Scottish king, who was James the First at the time, I believe, and this is all going to be on my episode about Matthew Hopkins. Anyway, um, so the princess tries to come over so she can marry the king, right? And she's turned back because of the roughness of the seas. So the king goes himself to get his bride. Um, I don't know whether his bride perished on the journey or not. I can't remember. But at any rate, um, some douchebag called Matthew Hopkins said, "Oh, okay, thank you, Selena, thank you. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to stop telling the story since I'm going to muddle up Matthew, Hopkins, and James the First even more. I'm going to stop telling the story now. Uh, Because I mean, there's a lot to unpack with the European witch hunts. There is a lot to unpack, which is why I started on this side of the pond. And I was actually going to start with the Salem witch trials, and then I learned about the Connecticut witch trials, which preceded the Salem witch trials and were actually much worse than the Salem witch trials. By Terem, thank you for keeping me looking more or less educated. Um, yeah, I mean, um, there's like so much stuff in my head that I'll get things confused, you know. Um, so thank you. So anyway, now um, people may ask, well, why do we hear about the Salem witch trials and not so much about the Connecticut witch trials, considering the Connecticut witch trials were actually worse than the Salem witch trials. And it was not intentional, believe it or not. Believe it or not, nobody tried to cover up the Connecticut witch trials. What happened was that the courthouse that the records were kept in burned down. And those were all of the records that they had. They didn't have any other records except in that courthouse that got burned down. So you may be asking, well, how did they figure out if the courthouse got burned down and all the records got burned down with it? How did they figure out? And this has just been very recent. I mean, this has been in the 2000s. Um, you might be asking yourself, how did they figure out there were Connecticut witch trials if everything went up in smoke? Um, well, um, luckily, yes, Selena, diaries and Bibles, because in that day, people kept their genealogies in their Bibles, you know, but they also pieced bit little bits and pieces of it from like um, uh, the annals of the church that was in churches, I should say, that were in Connecticut at the time. But yeah, and so, and that's how they pieced it together. Now, since we only have bits and pieces of the Connecticut witch trials. We don't know as much about the Connecticut witch trials as we know about the Salem witch trials. But we got to work with what we got, right? And, maybe somebody will dig up something else. You know, maybe there are other records kept somewhere else. What's an antinatalist? I have no idea what that means. Does anyone know what an antinatalist is? Let me look it up. Oh, antinatalism is a philosophical and ethical stance against human reproduction rooted in harm reduction and rational consideration for future life with regard for the implications, blah, blah, blah. Um, no, I, I'm not an antinatalist. I am against the quiverful movement, but I mean, take if you take antinatalism on one side of the spectrum and you take quiverful on the other side of the spectrum, I'm about a 4. So antinatalism is 1, quiverful is 10, I'm about a 4. I believe, for the sake of humanity, that people should only have 3 or 4 children at the most. So, I hope that answers your question. But yeah, for the sake of the earth, we definitely need to stop the goddamn quiverful movement. um, all right. Selena, was Matthew Hopkins English or Scottish? He was English, wasn't he? Do not watch All are welcome here. Everybody is welcome here. Ideas, philosophies, they don't matter. All are welcome. So welcome. So now if you're asking, do I think that if a severe birth defect is found in a baby, I mean severe, like it's only going to live for a few months, the baby will only live a few months, then I absolutely believe it is the moral thing to do to abort that child. Yeah, he did. Just so that child does not suffer through the few months that he or she has on earth. I think for the sake of the child should be aborted, yes. Yeah, he was a narcissistic son of a bitch, wasn't he? Anyway, like I said, I'll cover Matthew Hopkins. I think I covered him. Um, you'll have to go back in my videos. Um, so anyway, I think that's all for today. Thanks for coming. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you all for the new people that stopped by. I hope you stop by again. If you like this stream, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. That really helps the algorithm. If you really like what I do, consider becoming a member. You can become a member for as low as 99 cents a month, and you can get early access to my edited videos, Venator and Do Not Watch. I hope you check out the rest of my channel, and I'll see you guys later. Ta ta!